Yes, your girl here. We're back, another video, and today I got a special video, guys, man. Today we're gonna be ranking all the anniversaries. So from the first anniversary all the way to the fourth anniversary, from worst to best. So, and this is my opinion. This is my opinion on my ranking. Some of you guys gonna have different rankings and all that stuff, and I'm gonna explain like why I must put certain anniversaries above others and everything. And I'm taking away like personal experience in terms of like, did I get shafted on the band? I'm not gonna put that reasoning because I feel like that's dumb. Like, oh, I put the second anniversary worse because I got shafted on VV, but then I put the first anniversary because I pulled the units in like 1KCC. Now I'm gonna take that out. I'm gonna look at the grand scheme of things. I'm gonna rank it based off the banner value. I'm gonna rank on like how the meta was. I'm gonna rank on terms of what events that they dropped, what new things that they dropped during that anniversary, like any new events, like new type of events that we hadn't seen before, all that good stuff. And I'm gonna rank it like that. So if you guys don't agree with my list, it's understandable because like I said, it's to each their own. Some of you guys might put a certain anniversary above others because certain reasons, but this is my reasoning. So you guys, watch the video, hear what I gotta say, and then you guys can comment down below. Do you guys agree with my list? Do you guys have certain other reasons? And I'm gonna try to talk to like about the pros and the cons of each thing as much as possible. And hope you guys do enjoy it. So without further ado, let's get on with the vid, man. So I'm gonna start off with the first one that I'm gonna put, and I'm explaining why. So I mean, you guys can see like we had the first Annie, we had the second Annie, we had the third Annie. Do we have the fourth Annie logo? And we have the fourth Annie logo. So right now, 4 anniversaries leading up to the 5th anniversary. So let's get, in my opinion, what I feel like was the worst anniversary, and let's talk about it. So for me, the worst anniversary, in my opinion, was, let's go here, the second anniversary. I feel like the second anniversary was the worst anniversary. And we're going to take a look at some of the stuff that they dropped, and then I'm going to get more in depth into my reasons. So the second anniversary, right? The first anniversary set the standard of the anniversary. I feel like everyone really did like the first anniversary a lot. It's the first anniversary. The game made it to a full year. Everyone's like, all right, I can't wait for second anniversary. So second anniversary, I think the biggest thing that they dropped was LVB. I feel like Vegeta Blue dropping, everyone was insane. People was going crazy for Vegeta Blue. Like, I think he was the first Fusion Super Saiyan Blue unit, I believe, right? Yeah, because Gogeta Blue dropped that following year, I believe. No, he ain't dropped that following year. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I think something like that. Something like that. You guys get what I'm saying. But like, dropping him was insane. Like LFVB, like that was insane, and all that good stuff. So you guys know every anniversary had like the everyday tickets things. You guys know that every anniversary has these anniversary medals, all that good stuff. So all of this are following the similar things. The special login is pretty much the same for every single anniversary. Taking a look through at the anniversary adventures, chance time. I believe chance time, this is the first time they introduced chance time. If you guys can let me know in the comments, I might be wrong on this, but I don't remember if the first anniversary did chance time. I think they introduced chance time during the second anniversary. Now, if this was the first time them implementing chance time, I personally don't like chance time because I feel like the fact that you gotta have another chance at getting some more chrono crystals when it's not guaranteed. I personally don't like the chance time stuff. It's cool because like it's kind of like betting, but we're already kind of betting our CCs on summoning. So like, why we gotta bet CCs on trying to get more rewards? I personally don't like the chance time stuff. QR Shenron, I think that's been since first Annie. I'm trying to remember, did Charlotte get any love here? Now I remember him getting Super Saiyan 3 Charlotte before the second anniversary, but I don't believe that he got God here. I don't think Charlotte got God. I think third anniversary he got Super Saiyan God Charlotte. So you guys have the Power Up campaign, Vegeta returns, and I actually do like this event. You guys know this is like the clear certain stages, the 50 battle stages with Omega Shenron. This is when they used to do this a lot. I really did like the stage because you get 1,000, but they kind of bring this back with the Ultra event stuff where you got to climb up the ranks and then you got to hit a certain battle and you get 1,000 chrono crystals. They did that, and one of my favorites is challengers. I do like the challengers. A lot of you guys probably don't know about the challengers, but basically it was like it was like a high difficult, it was pretty difficult PvE like mode, and if you win you do get like a ton of chrono crystals from it, which was amazing. I love the challengers from this. And then other than that, you have kind of like the banners and stuff. So let's actually take a look at the banners. because this is, I feel like, what kind of hurt the second anniversary. So we take a look. Take a look here. Actually, they did introduce these free-to-play Super Warriors as well. I really do like this a lot. Them introducing the Yamcha, the Tien, and the Krillin was pretty cool. The only thing I didn't like about it is like they restricted them to like 5 stars, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and then you had to like get more copies off summoning. But the fact that they was introduced, it was actually really good too. All 3 of them together. I remember people was rocking like full Super Warriors at one point, which really was insane. So I really did like that a lot. Now, take a look at the banners. This is probably what hurt this anniversary a lot, was the banner. So you had 2 banners here. You had the GT side, because you guys didn't know, second anniversary was GT versus Future, right? I think, yeah, Future versus GT, right? So we take a look at GT. GT had Full Power Super Saiyan 4 and Omega Shenron, and then Future you had Zamasu, Trunks, and Vegeta Blue. So the fact that you had the headlining unit only being, was actually helping one banner over the other, gave Future an advantage, because VB doesn't correlate with GT. We didn't have the leader slot system, because you're gonna just plop GT on any team. So this all right here was just the better value banner, because VB literally helped Future. Like, he helped Future. So like, why would you want to summon here when, if you say for example you pull VB on GT, like, it wouldn't make sense for you to summon on GT if you can just go here and get all these units that all correlate on the same team compared to GT. So I mean, compared to Future. So that was a big knock, that the headlining unit helped one team, one banner over the other. So they already had an advantage right here. Next is the fact that Omega Shenron was red. Now, if you guys don't understand why that was a bad thing, let's actually take a look at VB's kit here, and I'm gonna show you the reason why. So VB was a blue unit. Take a grain of salt. VB was a blue unit, and Omega is a red unit right here. Now, I don't know if this is gonna actually load up or not, but if it doesn't load up now, I'll just explain it and I'll try to hurry up. So it's not loading. It's not loading at all. But basically, VB has a thing where he does extra damage to Fusion Warriors. So the fact that Omega Shenron was a Fusion Warrior and he was red made him unplayable, because everyone in their moms was literally rocking Vegeta Blue throughout this whole anniversary. This guy was unvalidated, bro. Like, you couldn't do nothing against him. You didn't want, if you brought him, you wanted to lose the game. That's how like shafted he got, just because he was a blue unit that did extra damage to Fusion Warriors. So it was like he just hard countered Omega Shenron. So he was out the way. And then what made this Goku was pretty solid, because he had a blast cover. He was a blast based unit. The only thing that hurt this Goku was the fact that if you actually look at the meta, I'm gonna show you guys the meta, but there was a reason why this Goku actually kind of got hurt, got hindered as well. So 2 of these units got hindered from what's name. So GT itself kind of just got hindered in general. Got hindered. Both of these units got hindered. I'm gonna show you guys why with GT, with Super Saiyan 4. So that's what the banners. Then after that, they dropped this banner here. And both of these are God Key units and Future units. So then they dropped a regular Sparking banner, and these 2 units helped Future. They didn't drop nothing GT related. So these 2 units even helped out Future and God Key even more. That helps VB. So like, now you have this banner here that VB's on, that's more valuable. And then they dropped these 2 other units here to give Future and God Key even more help compared to GT. So it was like, if you sell it for GT, you was just like in the bad spot. You was already in the bad spot. So you had, like, the whole meta was just for Future and God Key. It was like there was no point in summoning on this banner at all. There was no point. There was no good argument. So then once they dropped this banner, you definitely could tell they was pushing for Future more than God Key on this. They did also drop this banner here, but Pycon and this Kaioken Goku, but no one really used them like that. Everyone was pretty much summoned for these units here, because they really did help out VB a ton. These units were just there for no reason, made no sense to me. And let's actually take a look at the meta. So God Key, right? For that meta, this Vegeta actually got his tag changed to Future. If you guys don't remember this, when this Vegeta first dropped, this Vegeta did not have the Future tag, and this Vegeta dropped during Legends Fest, or Black Friday. That's what they used to call it, the Black Friday. Now they call it Legends Fest. But Black Friday, him and Rose dropped. He didn't have the Future tag, because it was like, should Vegeta get the Future tag? Because the reason why was because this Vegeta is not from the future. but he was in the future fighting Goku Black and stuff. So they were debating like, should we give them the future tag, because this is not future Vegeta, this is present time Vegeta, but he's in the future fighting Goku Black. So they was trying to decide, should they give him the future tag, and eventually they gave him the future tag. So that even helped out the GT whatever tag even more, because he gave support damage to God Ki and Vegeta Clan, and most of the future units were God Ki Vegeta Clan. You had Zamasu, you had VB, you had where you at, bro? You had the red, you had the purple Vegeta here, you had this Goku here, you had Trunks. All of them fit that stage, so he even helped that team even more, right? Even more, right? Even with this Vegeta. So just the meta itself was just more, was even what's name, bro? Like it was just God Ki or Future, God Ki Future or Fusion Warriors. Now the reason why that Super Saiyan Goku got invalidated was because of Kefla. Kefla dropped before the second anniversary, and she was super powerful. Now, what made Kefla dangerous against that Goku is, one, she had blast armor, VB had blast armor, and she did extra damage to Goku units. So that Goku got validated by Kefla, because if you didn't rock God Ki, then you was rocking Fusion Warriors with them too, and how fast it was farming their Dragon Balls was absolutely insane. So she did extra damage to Goku. Goku was a blast based unit, and she had strike armor, so she was just going through it, destroying him in like 3 cars. It was insane. So me personally, I feel like that would really hurt the anniversary, was the banner value was leaning more towards one side over the other. I would say that it didn't really introduce that much events in there like that, when I remember correctly as well. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much it for real. The banner, a lot of people did not like facing VBs, bro. You was facing Vegeta Blues every single time. If you didn't face the Vegeta Blue, like, you was kind of like just praying to God, because you just seen him every single time, which is actually is like a good thing and bad thing, because it shows how powerful he was. But the fact that all you kept seeing was fusions, God Ki, and Future, whatever, it kind of just invalidated the GT side. And for the people that does love GT, they kind of got cut over, right? So that was kind of like my biggest if on that. And let me actually take a look at this. Yeah, this is basically GT. So yeah, like GT, you was basically running like what, them two. You was kind of rocking these guys here, and then Omega was kind of invalidated, and then you had this Goku here and all that good stuff. And just GT just wasn't able to compete against the other tags for sure. So yeah, that's pretty much it with why I think this one was the worst. Also, I believe that they had a lot of dead periods throughout there, if I remember correctly. They actually had this little raid thing, but it was kind of like meh, like it was like a little story mode type of thing with VB and stuff. But I didn't really have a good experience with this at all. I didn't really have a good experience with it, even though I pulled VB in every unit on there. I just did not like that meta at all. They didn't really introduce nothing crazy. So I definitely gonna put this as the worst anniversary for me. So let's hop into the next anniversary. All right, bro. So the next anniversary I'm gonna put after the second anniversary is the third anniversary. Now we're gonna talk about why and all the good stuff. We're gonna try to talk about like the pros and the cons of everything, and why I put this in this placement. So third anniversary, right? Around that time, that's when Zenkai was dominating the game pretty much still. Like, you had like FSK, you had all these powerful Zenkai units that was dominating. So definitely take that into consideration with everything that was going on with the game. But you know, let's talk about it. So beginning, the little hype up to the to the third anniversary was the third anniversary, right? If I'm tripping or not. I think this was the third. Yeah, this was the third anniversary. This wasn't the last anniversary. So they had the little hype up with the Gokus and stuff. So you start off with base Goku, then Super Saiyan Goku, Super Saiyan 2. Then you had like the Super Saiyan 3. Then you had the Super Saiyan God and Super Saiyan Blue. So I actually kind of liked that. It wasn't nothing crazy, but it was like the pre-hype for the third anniversary. You had like all the free Gokus, which was pretty cool. Nothing crazy, like I said, but it was pretty cool seeing that. It was pretty cool seeing that. Now the third anniversary hits, and let's talk about the banner. So they still had it where you had an LF and you had 2 regular sparkers, right? So from the second anniversary, they kind of fixed that issue. You know, when I was talking about where one banner was kind of was more favored than the other, where like second, where VB was more on the future and the Gaki side. So it was better for you to summon on the future side, because it had more value on that side compared to GT, because VB had no correlation with GT. So to fix that, they introduced 2 LFs and they had two Spartans to represent both banners. So they introduced Corruptor Murzumasu, and then you had Gogeta 4 representing the GT side. So they kind of brought back the same future-ish kind of. It's really similar. It's like kind of like fusions versus GT. It's kind of like the same theme that they had, but this time they add two LFs so they can balance both sides, which is actually a good thing because they actually saw the flaw for second anniversary and they fixed it here. Right now, the problem with this is around this time, you know, I felt like they didn't have the pity system at the time, so I feel like a lot of people was getting shafted, and it just took forever. Cause that's when they introduced. I don't remember. Did they introduce the red stars after second Annie? I think they introduced the red stars after second Annie. So that means you have to pull more copies. That means the stat spreads was you had to pull more copies. Each copy was more important compared to back in the day where you could have a 2-star VB, it was perfectly fine. But this is when they introduced the red stars after the second Andy, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I believe they introduced the red stars after the second anniversary. And then this is when they started, right? We got to get more copies of these guys. And a lot of people's getting shafted, bro. A lot of people getting shafted on these banners and stuff. And you definitely needed the stars. So I feel like them not having the pity system at this time kind of hurt these banners for sure. But let's talk about just the banners in general, right? Like CMZ, you had Purple VB, you had Red Kefla, then you had Gogeta 4 or Nova, right? Like, not gonna lie to you, although the banners, like them balancing the banners was a good thing, none of these units here had no impact value on the anniversary. Now, I'm not saying that they needed to be busted like second VB, like second anniversary VB, but none of them had no impact at all. Like, I don't really remember people using these guys throughout the whole anniversary because there was another banner that just power crept the whole part 1. So not all 3 of these units, all 6 of these units got power crept in the same anniversary. Like literally in 3 weeks they got power crept. Gogeta 4 got power crept to the point where eventually they had to give him the first modern day plat. These guys got power crept by another GT banner that dropped. I'm actually going to show you guys that. These units got power crept by another GT banner, which was insane. Like literally a month later they got power crept, and then like you just didn't see these units at all. You just didn't see these units. This guy got power crept by a certain unit because he did extra damage to PO that I'm going to show you, and then Kefla was mad, and Purple VB was okay, right? But then you had this banner, part 2 of the third Annie, taking over both of these banners. It was like these two banners were just non-existent. As soon as Revival Gohan dropped, Bojack dropped, Drip Trunks dropped, it was like that's what everyone was rocking. Bojack was really good, Drip Trunks was pretty solid, and then Revival Gohan was just arguably the best unit in the game, second best unit in the game. The fact that he helped out Red FSK was still dominant. So you just rocked them 2 Gohans together, and you just could not be stopped. And once this banner dropped, all of both of these banners, like no one didn't summon on these numbers. Everyone was going for this banner right here, which was insane to me. The power creep was absolutely insane. Part 2 was way more important than part 1 at all for sure. So that definitely hurt the third anniversary. I think the thing that really helped the third anniversary kind of make it over the second anniversary is the fact that just the amount of resources we got throughout the anniversary was insane. They had like 5 weeks of straight up raid, which was pretty cool. We had a lot of energy, we got a lot of races, we got a lot of LFZ power, we got a lot of resources. So I really feel like just the resources side really helped put that over the second anniversary in my opinion, just because the resources did help. I'm not gonna lie to you, we did get some good amount of chrono crystals, we got some LFZ power, so a lot of people was able to focus and store up all of their favorite LFs, which was a good thing. They also introduced free-to-play Ultra Vegeta. This is when they started to introduce the free-to-play Ultras. Ultra Vegeta got released later down the line, I believe, during the third anniversary. I do remember him getting dropped around that time, Ultra Vegeta. Right, yeah, Ultra Vegeta did get dropped. Ultra Vegeta got dropped during third annie? Did he? No. Did he? Let me actually check. I actually don't remember. Third Annie. Did he get dropped during third Annie? I might actually be wrong. Let me actually check. There's no way. Fourth Annie. Nah, yeah, he did get dropped during third Annie. Yeah, he got dropped during third Annie, I believe. Right? Let me actually check his card. Event 20. I think he did get dropped there. Let me know if I'm wrong, but I think he actually got dropped during the third Annie. So yeah, that's pretty much it with the third anniversary for real. Nothing really much to say. I'm trying to think of anything else. Yeah, that was pretty much it, bro. Because like when you think about the meta was basically this. Like during the third Annie, it was either you was rocking. Let me see. Let me actually find the two tags so I can bring it up for you guys. Let's bring that tag up, and then let's bring in this tag up right here. And I'm gonna actually show you the other. I'm gonna actually show you like Nova and what's name getting power crept as well. So where is Silence from the Movies? Yep, Silence from the Movies there. And then let's actually go to GT. Let's actually go to GT and show you guys like Nova and what's name getting power crept. So like I said, for part one, you had what? You had Nova and Ice, and literally a week, like a month after that, they dropped Majube and Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Both were yellow and blue. Both of them were better than Nova and Ice. So if you summon for Gogeta 4, Gogeta 4 was still like your best green at the time, but these two units got invalidated because Majube had endurance, he had support, he had an AoE green card, which was really nice. He had an AoE green card as well, double card draw speed, was able to farm Dragon Balls really fast. So these two units were just better for GT than these guys. So these guys' value only lasted for like probably like 2 weeks, and then they got power crept by the Gohan banner, and then they got power crept by another GT banner literally in the month later. So the GT banner once again got cut again for two anniversaries in a row. GT banner got cut in a sense. Well, they kind of got some love just by adding it, but you could have gave them a purple and a red because GT needed a purple red. They had green, yellow, blue at the time. You could have gave them purple red to give them a full color wheel of GT because what their purple was who? Him? He was their only purple that they had at the time. I think he had a Zenkai. Now granted, he did have a Zenkai, so that did help. That did help because he did get a Zenkai. These two units did get a Zenkai around that time. I know he actually got a Zenkai, so you can Zenkai buff Gogeta 4. So I mean, they did have a full color wheel, but what if you didn't have them at 7 stars? What if a lot of the new players didn't have these units at 7 stars to Zenkai them? And what if they wasn't there at the time where their banners went away, right? Because their banners lasted for like a couple, probably like a week or so before the anniversary started. So like, what if a new player only summoned and got these 3 units, and like they needed a purple red? They didn't have these units at 7 stars or higher, so they could have had these as that 1% for sure. So I feel like that's what they could have done there. And then yeah, so for the anniversary, bro, it was literally movies, right? You had a really powerful EX Goku. EX Goku was really good. He did extra damage to Hyper Saiyan, so he was kind of somewhat of a unit that could slow down FSK. You know, FSK can go type neutral regardless. Then you had Bojack. Bojack was a really powerful 1% unit. Then you had this Revival Gohan, right? That's pretty much was your movies unit, right? You know, you had the Trunks too. The Trunks was pretty. He was pretty solid. He was nothing crazy, but he was pretty solid. And then you had the hybrid saying where you basically just rocked Future Gohan, which I feel like was the best team at the time. Future Gohan, Revival Gohan, just the Gohan team. You know, Future Gohan, Revival Gohan, you had Endurance, you had Revival, and then you had this last man standing unit here. So it was really just those two teams, Sagas for the Movies, and this team, and everything, and the part one just got power crept, bro. Like it was pretty sad to see. And I remember me going like 66,000 Chrono Crystals for both of these banners, bro. And like the fact they got power crept by like this, like literally like what, June 25th. So like literally in a month span they got power crept. It was pretty sad. But like I said, I feel like what really helped this anniversary was the amount of raids and stuff, the amount of rewards we got. But in terms of like just the meta, it was terrible. In terms of the banner value, only this banner value was really meant. Really, it was really only this was the only banner value that was really important. You could have skipped part one and you would have been perfectly fine because they didn't mean nothing. You could have skipped part one and just came to part two, like just pulled up the part two, and then you would have been perfectly fine. You wouldn't have missed out really on anything from that third inning. The only thing, if you missed out on part two, then that would have hurt you. But if you pulled up on part two instead of part one, you still would have been perfectly fine. Because that's all you remember from third anniversary was this banner alone. These other two banners was trash, and the rewards was really good too. The amount of raids and stuff and rewards we got throughout the whole anniversary was pretty nice as well. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the third anniversary. That's why I ranked it third. And let's hop into the second one, and I'm gonna catch you guys there. Okay, so for the next one is actually going to be it's going to be the second one. Now the second and the first one, like in terms of like the ranking, is actually interchangeable for me because I feel like they're both represented the anniversary well, and they're both in their own perspectives and everything. And I'm gonna give you guys my reasons. So I feel like the second place, first place can be interchangeable for me. Not gonna lie to you. So without further ado, let's get on with it, and I'm gonna explain why I put this second. But like I said, I really have trouble with which one putting first or second. So it is what it is. So in second place, we're gonna go with the first anniversary, man. The first anniversary, man, of the game. So let's get into it. So in terms of the hype of the first anniversary, I feel like the first anniversary was the best out of the four. Now the reason is the pre-hype. The pre-hype, first of all, it's the first anniversary, so everyone's pretty hyped. They're like, oh shoot, you know, the game made it a full year. That's a big thing. But what made it really cool was they had the Dragon Ball Legends Showdown in Vegas. So it's kind of similar to like what they did in Battle Hour this past year, right? Where they kind of fought each other. But instead of doing like the little fun little rules that they had just to like not make it as competitive, they actually was like fighting like for real with real teams, with Rising Rush. Like you was rocking the best teams and stuff. And towards the end of it, we had a winner, but then the winner fought one of the devs and everything like that. And the devs was actually using some of the units that was getting reviewed for the part one. So you guys actually kind of look at this clip here. This is one of the devs. This is like the winner of the person, Milcool, bro. He was the winner of the anniversary, not the anniversary, but of this showdown thing. He was the winner. So he got to fight the devs. And you guys see here, let me actually skip through it. So you guys see there, like this is the dev, and this guy literally had like two, like just the way that they built that up, where they had like Super Vegito and Super Saiyan Blue Goku, like all hidden in the skies, was pretty cool. So you guys see it loading up, and then when it happens, when the match happens, you actually get to see like Super Vegito's intro. It was kind of like he was like an Ultra in the sense, you know, like Ultras like kind of had like their own little intro. That's kind of what he had right here, which was pretty cool. So and Super Vegito had his little like windscreen there, kind of in a sense, and then you was able to see. This is the first time we got to see Super Vegito's gameplay. They didn't have a trailer for him. This is the first time we got to see Super Vegito and everything like that. We didn't get to see him do the LF. We have the Super Saiyan. We have Charlotte turning Super Saiyan 2 around this time. Then Super Saiyan Blue Goku. And that was the three units that we saw. We didn't see the Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. We didn't see Golden Frieza. We didn't see Green Buhan. So when the anniversary dropped, like when the banners dropped, we were like, oh shoot, we got Golden Frieza, Green Buhan, and Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. So I feel like in terms of like disguising the new units and showing like Super Vegito and all that was pretty cool to me. Pretty cool to me. I definitely feel like this was the best in terms of like just the Annie hype. I feel like this was the best one. Now, yeah, like I said before, Super Saiyan 2 Charlotte got a transformation around this time. I think this is, yeah, when he turned Super Saiyan 2. Because you guys see here, has like 3 days left. It says anger awakens Charlotte to new heights. So I think he already had Super Saiyan around like December. So then around the anniversary, he had Super Saiyan 2. They had Challenge Rush around this time. Challenge Rush, I think that's one of the best PvE modes because, yeah, you get Chrono Crystals. And it was a little bit challenging too. It was really cool. I was able to make guides off and make a lot of views off of it. So I love the Challenge Rush, you know, things. But we're going to take a look here at the thanks. Pretty much, like I said, like the first anniversary kind of introduced everything. They had the free-to-play Vegito, arguably he was probably a top 5, top 3 unit in the game, bro. Because this is what he did with Super Vegito, him being a red unit, locking in these yellows, being an absolute tank. His Z ability too was amazing. Then you had, like I said, yeah, like the first Annie medals. They kind of set the standard for the anniversary in terms of these little medals and the rewards and Shenron and all that good stuff. So take a look at the banners. This is like kind of like, I'll probably say this is kind of like the only downfall I kind of had with the first Annie was the banners. Now the reason, let me get into it. So you guys see Super Saiyan. I like the way that they kind of diverse the banners. You guys see how if you wanted to rock God Key, you had to summon on both. So I did like this right here, where it's like Super Saiyan, they had the Goku banner, and then they had the Vegeta banner here, the Vegeta banner, which was pretty cool. I really did like that. So you had Golden Frieza on one end, and then you had Green Buhan here, because since Golden Frieza and Green Buhan wasn't representing the same team, it would have made an imbalance like they did in second Annie. So that's why I feel like second Annie was terrible, because they kind of did something pretty cool here, where you had to kind of summon on both banners to get all the units, right? Especially the God Key setup with the Goku and the Vegeta. So taking a look here, you had Super Vegeta on both banners. He was the main LF, and you had 2 Sparkings there. And you also have some EX units as well. But I would say the biggest gripe is Golden Frieza and Green Buhan just being unusable in this meta. Now, For Gold to Frieza, say Gold to Frieza was a glass cannon. He was really powerful, bro. First 60 timer counts, does a ton of damage. But then after the 60 timer counts, he falls off bad. But that's not really the reason why, like, he was unusable for this. The reason why he was unusable was because, well, one, he was a green unit, right? So you got Super Vegito, that was a green unit. But the biggest person that really shut him down was this Vegeta. This Vegeta right here. You guys know about his Zenkai, or you just know about his kit. He locks you in twice or three times. One of those, I think it's twice. But if he locks you in twice, he's gonna kill you, bro. Especially Frieza being a glass cannon green unit, like he just locks you in. There's like 4 strike cards in a row. You can't do nothing. He can kill Frieza in two snipes. So that's what really hurt Frieza was this Vegeta, because this Vegeta was really powerful, bro. He had a blast. He had a little counter card thing. He locked you in, so you can use that to rise and rush people. He was a powerful unit. So Golden Frieza really got shut down by this Vegeta, in my opinion, in terms of his value. And then Green Buhan also got shut down. One by this Vegeta, because like I said, Vegeta locks him in. He's a purple unit. He can lock him in, do a ton of damage. But not only that, Super Vegito. Super Vegito was a purple unit that did extra damage to regen units, extra strike damage to regen. So the fact that Buhan was green and he was regen, like, what is he supposed to do? Like, that was like the worst color to give Buhan. Buhan could have been like blue. He could have been red. He could have been any other color besides green against Super Vegito. So that's what really hurt. Buhan was a really good unit too. Like I said, our main regen. So he was a really good green regen unit, but you just couldn't rock Buhan because you saw Super Vegito every single time. So these two units got invalidated. That's probably, I'll say, the only downside of this anniversary was that. We could take a look here. If you guys do want to count the Sizzling Boot Camp as part of the anniversary, I guess that's a big plus for the first Annie. But me personally, I don't count this as it. I feel like it's his own event, its own campaign, because it's called Sizzling Summer Boot Camp. They don't really call it as part of the anniversary. So if you count the anniversary, that's a huge plus for first Annie. But me personally, I don't count this at all. I don't count this at all. I count this as like its own event after the anniversary. This Sizzling Summer Boot Camp, Sizzling Summer is like its own campaign. So yeah, we could take a look at the tags for that was kind of dominating this era of the game. You know, you got God Key, where you had the Super Saiyan Blue Goku, Vegeta, and then EX Whis. That's when EX Whis dropped. So the fact that you were supplying this Goku green cards, he was able to get damage inflicted buffs, Key, he was able to heal up, and then Vegeta with the little blast counter thing with his green card. You know, you have multiple green cards, so you could just stay in the back and just, you know, they pop a blast card, you just counter it. So you saw God Key, and then the best team was pretty much Fusion Warriors, bro. You had Super Vegito, you had the free-to-play Vegito. You can max them out. Then you had Gotenks here, where he was actually bugged around this time, where every time he landed his ultimate card, it was a guaranteed fate. If you look at his kit, it's actually like it's supposed to be like a 70% chance if he has like 3 allies remaining or something like that. But every time you land the ultimate card, it was fainted, and they actually reported it as a bug and everything like that. And then you also had this transforming Gogeta. He was still solid at this time. So these 4 units pretty much just dominated these 4 units here, and then you pretty much had God Key, and that pretty much ran through the what's the name? That pretty much ran through the whole meta. So I was probably not only gripe with the first Annie, was just what's the name, Golden Frieza and Green Buhan getting shafted, but everything else was good. So I really do like this anniversary. Really good anniversary, the first one. So let's hop into the last one and let's wrap this video up. Okay, so for the last one, the number 1 anniversary, I believe, like I said, number 1 and number 2 is interchangeable, but I feel like the 4th Annie was the best one. Now I'm gonna explain why. I'm gonna talk about like the pros and the cons of everything like that, and let's get started. So yeah, I feel like the 4th Annie was the best one. Now let's straight off the gate, let's talk about the cons. I think the biggest con, I'll say 2 cons with there's probably 2 cons that I can think of as of like right now. I can think of. I'll say the first one, the 4th anniversary probably had the worst hype out of them all, and it's because the 4th anniversary got leaked. The 4th anniversary, part 1 of the 4th anniversary got leaked. If you guys remember, if you was playing at that time, like there was something that happened where they had these little things right here. Let me see if I can find. But they had these little like profile pics things in this one website, and someone was able to look into the code, and it was able to like type in the code of like who's going to be like the last person. It was able to find out that it was Goku. Not only that, they also leaked a free-to-play Mazda Vegeta. I know that the free-to-play Mazda Vegeta was trash, but that got leaked out in iOS as well. So 2 times the game got leaked. But like I said, but part 1 MUI getting leaked, it kind of ruined the hype. Like, of course, a lot of people was expecting MUI because it was buffing. They was buffing it, but we knew 100% confirmed that it was MUI because of the whole leak thing. So I'll probably say that's probably the biggest thing that hurt the 4th anniversary was that leak, in my opinion. And it was definitely the worst one in terms of the hype build up for it. But if we look at the amount of free-to-play units that they had drop, was actually insane. If you actually look here, bro, we had the TOP Krillin, we had the base Goku, we had the Tien. Then after that, we had, we went there. Then we had this free-to-play Go Super Saiyan, Gogeta, right? We had him as a free-to-play unit. Then after that, we had the Mazda Vegeta towards the end of everything. So we had like, what, 5 free-to-play units right there, which was really cool. You could take a look like what was the stuff they introduced. Like I said, every anniversary has the same stuff, like free summon tickets. They had this guaranteed LF thing, it was whatever. And then they had like the 4th Annie medals. Like I said, every anniversary had the medals. Lots of, they gave us LZ power and all that good stuff. And they had some other stuff as well. So they pretty much had all the same thing, right? But we could take a look here. Like I said, we went through all the TOP. We went all the free-to-play units, right? We had 5 free-to-play units, which was, pretty cool throughout the whole anniversary. Then we had VB Zenkai. I would say VB Zenkai was a little lackluster. He could have been better. They definitely didn't want to give him too much good on his last 2 Zenkai abilities. They could have made him way better, but the fact that they Zenkai'd him towards the end of the little anniversary thing was pretty cool. A lot of people was kind of hyped about that, but they could have made him better. They definitely could have made him better for sure. They could have. He aged pretty bad. Not gonna lie to you, like he's not really used as much, but they didn't really give him much in his last 2 uniques, and they could have made him better. But I think he was pretty solid, especially around that time. People were using him a lot. He was doing a lot of damage, but he just didn't age as well. But like I said, they didn't really focus too heavy on Zenkai's, but they could have made him better, especially since he's an LF. They could have made him better for sure. So I definitely do agree with that. And after that, we had the raids, bro. I feel like out of all the anniversary, I feel like the 4th anniversary probably had the best rewards. Like the amount of rewards we got compared to all the other anniversaries, I think it's tied for first. I think it's like this and 3rd anniversary were tied in the amount of rewards we was able to get. The amount of Z power we got. I think we got over like 2.7k LFZ power, if I remember correctly. Like the amount of Z power we got here was insane. It was having a lot of raids, a lot of chrono crystals there, a lot of energy, a lot of erasers. I believe that they actually had Hoi Poi around this time too. I think they introduced Hoi Poi. They didn't introduce Hoi Poi, but they had Hoi Poi as well with the 4th Annie medals, with the raid. So just the amount of resources you was getting here was insane, right? Insane. I definitely think it was probably the best, if not tied for first with 3rd Annie. The rewards was insane. Then, like, last but not least, let's talk about the banners. When you actually look at the banners, I feel like none of the units really got cucked for real. Compared to like the other ones where I was saying Golden Frieza got hard countered by the purple Super Saiyan Blue Vegeta. Green Buhan got hard countered by LF Super Vegeta. Red Shenron and 2nd Annie got hard countered by Vegito Blue. And then 3rd Annie, Part 1, both Part 1 banners just got power crept by the Gohan banner, Revival Gohan banner. If we actually look at this 4th anniversary banners, I feel like this was probably the best one in terms of like all the units were pretty solid. I'll probably say the worst one was this Vegeta, but this Vegeta didn't really get hard countered by that many people. He could be used. He was usable. You can rock him, but someone was going to get the short end of the stick, and it was him. But it's not like he got hard countered by anybody. It's not like there was a certain unit that was just like shutting him down. Just like people just didn't really use him like that, right? People just didn't use him like that. And that's perfectly fine. It's not like he didn't, like, I mean, if he did use them, he was putting in some decent work. I just didn't like his kit where he needed to get at 50 health or 30 timer counts needed to pass for him to transform. They didn't have that little limitation on him. He would have been a way better unit, but that's the only thing. That's probably his biggest gripe, was that condition for him to transform into Super Saiyan Blue. That's probably the only thing that hurt that unit alone, was that. Everything else was, his kit was okay. It's just the limit of him, like a time limit and then like a health limit for him to transform was. Now, of course, he healed all his damage back, but what if someone was able to deal up to like 55 of your health, and then they pop the main ability, and then they just killed you like that, right? Like then he's unusable, right? Because he can't transform. He's not at the 50 health. He's not at the timer count. So then you just let him die. So little situations like that where this unit was unusable because of that dumb time restriction was dumb. But take a look here. MEY Goku was really powerful. I hate MEY Goku. I hate facing against him, but he was really powerful, bro. Like red, purple at the time. Him, Whis, and the droids, bro, was a super annoying team. He did a ton of damage. He had his little auto gauge thing, but this time he can actually deal damage to you back compared to like with the purple UI sign or the red UI sign Goku. They can't hit you back, but kind of, you know, it did hinder some passive play, which I didn't like. But like I said, it's to each their own. I'm not trying to put my experience against Goku, right? Like some people do like that little gauge thing, some people hate it, but he was a really good unit. He was a really good unit. He had endurance of his last stand, long what's the name in terms of his long special cover change. He had that for 30 timer counts, bro. He had the double universe cover change, so he was a really good unit, bro. The only thing that sucked about him was he got leaked, so that really ruined his hype for real. But he was a really good unit, bro. And then after that, let's go to part two. I would say part two is probably, in terms of like both of these units, they were both really solid. Dragon Fist Goku, Super Saiyan 3 Dragon Fist Goku was pretty solid. Got to ramp him up for him to get his gauge thing. And he put in work, bro. He put in work, bro. He was a really solid unit, especially him being green. So a lot of people trying to counter MEY Goku. So a lot of people just rock Dragon Fist Goku and MEY Goku together, which was pretty cool. The first time, I think it's the first 3 or the first 2 times he enters the field, he nullifies cover change. So he just is able to ramp up his damage. He did a lot of damage. And then Tapion was actually pretty solid as well, bro. Tapion was a really good support unit. He also had that little thing where like if you rise rush him, he reduces his sub count, so you can just sack him off. And then he had that AoE death effect, so when he does die, he has the Harutogan thing, does AoE damage to your whole team. So you just don't want to you don't want to kill him with you don't want to kill Tapion with a purple, because then he does a lot more AoE damage to your whole team. But Tapion was really solid too. Really good. A lot of people was rocking Tapion, bro. There was a time where like you was rocking like Tapion, Dragon Fist, and MEY Goku together, so that was really cool. Seeing all 3 of them being used together was really nice as well. He can also notify cover change when he pops the green card, and then he can seal strike cards after the enemy attack is over. So this Tapion was pretty solid. A lot of people was rocking Tapion for sure. And then last but not least, the best unit of them all was USV. You know, this was the first anniversary that actually introduced a Sunnable Ultra. If you actually look at third Annie, they didn't do that. They had Ultra Vegeta, the free-to-play one, but third Annie, the best unit with Revival Gohan. So this is the first time they introduced the Sunnable Ultra during an anniversary. USV was the best unit in the game by far. And then, you just rocked all 3 of them. You rocked him, a really powerful Saiyan team. You rocked Dragon Fist Goku, you rocked MEY Goku, and then you rocked USV. And then you had a full Saiyan team. And they all did work, bro. That was the team that you saw all of them. And it was really cool because all LFs actually had some value throughout the anniversary. None of them was really broken. I'll say USV is probably the most broken one, but there was definitely some units that can stop him. Like you had MEY Goku, you had droids, you had those are probably the main 2 reds for real. Yeah, those are probably the 2 main reds, but you had some units that could stop him, right? So that was really cool. And he was powerful, right? He's an ultra unit. He deserved to be powerful. He deserved to be the best. He's a new rarity in the game. He's a Sunnable. So that's pretty much it. Now you could, like I said, if you count the Sizzling Boot Camp as part of the anniversary, you can. They had like what 4 new EX units with the whatever these Goopray, whatever Raspberry, whatever these guys' name is, right? So you definitely had this, but like I said, I don't count this as part of it. But if you do want to count this, this was pretty cool. Like it was pretty solid units, so nothing crazy. I think Raspberry was the best one out of them all. But yeah, that's pretty much with the 4th anniversary. I'm trying to think whether there's anything else that I missed about it. Nah, I think that was pretty much it, right? I think I got everything. They probably introduced like some plats and stuff. I'm trying to look at some other characters. Am I missing anything? Nah, nah, I'm not missing anything. The free-to-play characters, the Sunnable characters. Yeah, that was pretty much it. Because you guys could say like TN and Buhan was part of the anniversary, but they kind of dropped after USB. And I'm not gonna count Buhan and TN as part of the fourth anniversary. I think they kind of like happened after it, so I wouldn't count them as part of the fourth Annie thing. But other than that, yeah. So I think the fourth Annie, in my opinion, was the best. I feel like they handled the banners right. Like, I feel like everyone was pretty valuable in a sense. All like these 5 characters here. Like I said, they could have definitely added more sparking units or something like that. But you kind of just have to look at how they impacted the meta in terms of during the fourth anniversary, the anniversary run, and all 5 of them were not really. All of them were pretty solid. Like I said, he was probably the worst one, and it was really because of his kit, not really because he got a hard counter compared to the other 3 Annies. They had great rewards and resources, bro. You had so much LFZ power. You had a lot of energy, skip tickets, chrono crystals. You had so much resources to get, so you were able to help you out, help you deal with some of the events and stuff. You being able to have all your resources ready to go. The banners, like I said, the banners, none of them, all of them were pretty solid in terms of the young units that they added on here in terms of like the sparkings and hires. We had multiple free-to-play units too, bro. We had like 5 free-to-play units throughout this anniversary. So I feel like the 4th anniversary was really good. And like I said, the biggest thing that hurt them was it getting leaked. I'll say that. And I'll probably say another thing was they had some dead weeks in there. Because the way that they try to extend the anniversary way longer than it should have been. I believe that, and like I said, we actually take a look at Ultra Super Vegeto's banner. Like it lasts until July 27. And I believe Revival Gohan banner lasted, when did Revival Gohan banner last? I honestly don't remember, but I think 4th anniversary lasted, like the full 4th Annie lasted longer than the whole thing over there. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Let me know what you guys think. If I had to rank it, 4th Annie first, 1st Annie second, 3rd Annie third, and the 2nd Annie last. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. Let's see if the 5th Annie can be the best. I personally think the 5th Annie can easily be the best. They really don't have that much competition. They just gotta do a few things right, and it could definitely have the potential of being the best Annie for sure. So, but we'll see though. We'll see, bro, in the coming days. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and girls, man, I'm out.